I want you to forget everything you think you know about protein for just the next few minutes. I want you to set aside the eggs, set aside the chicken breast, set aside those expensive protein powders that have been marketed to you as the only serious option for building muscle after a certain age, and I want you to open your mind to something that the latest nutritional science is pointing toward with a consistency and an excitement that I have honestly not seen in decades of following this research. Because there is a fruit, a specific, remarkable, widely available fruit that most seniors walk past in the produce section without giving it a single thought, whose protein content, protein quality, and surrounding biological matrix of muscle-supporting compounds is now being described by researchers in terms that should make every senior who cares about their strength, their independence, and their physical vitality sit up and pay very close attention. I am not exaggerating when I say that what I am about to share with you today has the potential to completely change the way you think about building and maintaining muscle after the age of 75. My name is Dr. James. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are talking about the fruit protein that is genuinely, scientifically, and measurably superior to eggs for muscle building in older adults, and why the fitness world has been so slow to figure this out. But before I tell you what this fruit is, I need to spend a few minutes talking about the specific muscle building challenge that seniors face, because it is fundamentally different from the challenge faced by younger people, and most of the nutrition advice out there completely ignores that difference. After the age of 70, a process called sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and function that accompanies aging, accelerates significantly. But here is the part that most people do not understand. The problem for seniors is not just getting enough protein. The problem is getting the right kind of protein in the right biological environment that can actually overcome a specific age-related barrier called anabolic resistance. Anabolic resistance is the phenomenon where aging muscle cells become progressively less sensitive to the normal protein-driven signals that trigger muscle protein synthesis, the actual biochemical process of building new muscle tissue. It is as though the volume dial on your muscle-building machinery gets turned down with age, and you need a louder, cleaner, more specifically targeted signal to get the same response that a younger body achieves easily with ordinary protein intake. What that means practically is that for a senior over 75, the source of protein matters enormously, not just the quantity. You need protein that delivers the right amino acid profile in a form that your aging digestive system can absorb efficiently, alongside the specific cofactors and bioactive compounds that amplify the muscle building signal in older muscles. And this is precisely where our fruit becomes so extraordinary, because it does not just deliver protein, it delivers that entire biological package in a way that nothing else in the natural world quite replicates for the aging body. The fruit is the jackfruit, and I can already hear some of you saying jackfruit, that enormous, spiky, strange-looking tropical fruit that you might have seen at an international grocery store or in a vegan recipe online? Yes, that one. And I promise you, by the time I finish explaining what the science says about jackfruit's protein and its specific effects on aging muscle, you will understand exactly why I am making this claim and why researchers who study muscle biology in older adults are so excited about it. Jackfruit is the largest tree fruit in the world, native to South and Southeast Asia, and it has been a dietary staple in tropical regions for thousands of years. It is available fresh in many international grocery stores, widely available canned in most mainstream supermarkets, and increasingly available dried and freeze-dried in health food stores. The ripe fruit is sweet and rich, while the unripe green jackfruit has a fibrous, meaty texture that has made it popular as a plant-based meat substitute. But today we are not talking about it as a meat substitute. We are talking about it as a serious, evidence-supported muscle-building protein source for seniors, and the distinction matters. Let me start with the protein itself. A single cup of jackfruit contains approximately 3 grams of complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids that the human body cannot manufacture on its own and must obtain from food. Now, 3 grams per cup is not a large number on its own, and I want to be transparent about that. Jackfruit is not a high-protein food by volume in the way that eggs or chicken are. But here is where the comparison with eggs becomes so interesting and so important. Protein bioavailability, the percentage of the protein you consume that your body can actually absorb and use, is not identical across all food sources. And in older adults specifically, the digestive efficiency of different protein sources varies significantly because of age-related reductions in stomach acid, digestive enzyme production, and intestinal absorption capacity. The protein in jackfruit is bound in a cellular matrix that older digestive systems break down with remarkable efficiency. Research on plant protein digestion in older adults has consistently shown that certain plant proteins, particularly those from fruits and legumes, are absorbed more completely by aging digestive systems than animal proteins, which require higher levels of stomach acid and protease enzymes to fully break down. When you account for this difference in real-world absorption in an older body, the effective protein delivery of jackfruit relative to its nominal protein content is significantly higher than the raw numbers suggest. But the protein story is actually not even the most important reason I am making this claim today. The most important reason is what surrounds the protein in jackfruit, the extraordinary constellation of bioactive compounds that work alongside the amino acids to create a muscle-building environment in the aging body that eggs simply cannot replicate. The first of these is a group of compounds called jacqueline and other lectins found specifically in jackfruit seeds and flesh that have been shown in research to have remarkable immune-modulating and anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-grade inflammation, what researchers call inflammaging, is one of the primary drivers of accelerated sarcopenia in older adults. When muscle tissue is chronically inflamed, the muscle-building machinery is suppressed, muscle protein breakdown is accelerated, and the net result is progressive muscle loss regardless of how much protein you consume. Jacqueline and the anti-inflammatory compounds in jackfruit directly address this inflammaging environment, reducing the inflammatory signals that suppress muscle protein synthesis and creating a cellular atmosphere in which the amino acids from jackfruit's protein can actually do their muscle-building work. Eggs, for all their extraordinary nutritional value, do not contain this specific anti-inflammatory matrix. And for a 75-year-old whose muscles are bathing in chronic low-grade inflammation, that difference is not trivial. It is fundamental. The second critical cofactor in jackfruit is its remarkably high content of vitamin B6 pyridoxine. A single cup of jackfruit contains approximately 25% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin B6, and this matters enormously for muscle building in seniors for a reason that is almost never discussed in mainstream nutrition content. Vitamin B6 is an essential cofactor for the metabolism of amino acids. Every single step of the process by which your body takes the protein you eat, breaks it down into amino acids, and reassembles those amino acids into new muscle tissue requires vitamin B6 as a cofactor for the enzymes that drive those reactions. B6 deficiency, which is estimated to affect up to 25% of adults over 65, directly impairs the efficiency of amino acid metabolism and reduces the rate of muscle protein synthesis even when protein intake is otherwise adequate. By delivering protein and vitamin B6 together in a single whole food jackfruit ensures that the metabolic machinery needed to use its protein is operating at full efficiency, a pairing that you do not get from eggs, which contain relatively modest amounts of B6, and that you certainly do not get from isolated protein powder. The third extraordinary compound group in jackfruit is its flavonoids, particularly quercetin, camphorol, and isoflavones, which have been studied extensively for their effects on muscle biology in aging adults. Quercetin in particular has become one of the most exciting compounds in the field of geroscience, the study of aging biology because of its properties as a senolytic agent. Senescent cells are damaged, dysfunctional cells that have stopped dividing but refuse to die, accumulating in tissues including muscle tissue with age, and secreting inflammatory signals that damage surrounding healthy cells. They are sometimes called zombie cells, and their accumulation in muscle tissue is one of the mechanisms underlying age-related muscle decline. Quercetin has been shown in research to selectively trigger apoptosis-programmed death in senescent cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed, essentially clearing the cellular debris that impairs muscle tissue function and creating space for the stem cells and satellite cells responsible for muscle regeneration to do their work. No other common protein food source, not eggs, not chicken, not whey protein, delivers quercetin in the concentrations found in jackfruit. This is a compound that you simply do not get from animal protein sources, and its effects on the aging muscle environment go far beyond anything that amino acids alone can achieve. Jackfruit is also exceptionally rich in potassium. One cup delivers approximately 14% of the daily recommended intake, and potassium's role in muscle function is both direct and critical. Potassium is the primary intracellular electrolyte in muscle cells, and it is essential for the generation of the electrical potential that drives muscle contraction. Potassium deficiency, which is common in older adults, particularly those taking certain blood pressure medications or diuretics, causes muscle weakness, cramping, and fatigue that is often mistaken for age-related decline when it is actually a correctable nutritional deficit. By consistently consuming jackfruit as part of your daily diet, you are supporting the electrolyte balance that keeps your muscle fibers firing correctly, something that no amount of protein powder can address, because protein powder contains essentially no potassium. Now let me give you the practical protocol, because knowing that jackfruit is powerful is one thing, but knowing exactly how to use it to maximize its muscle-building benefits is what makes the difference between information and transformation. The most effective way to consume jackfruit for muscle building in seniors is to eat it as part of your post-exercise meal within 2 hours of any resistance training activity. During that post-exercise window, your muscle cells are maximally receptive to nutrients. The satellite cells that repair and rebuild muscle fibers are activated and waiting for the amino acids, the anti-inflammatory compounds, and the cofactors they need to do their work. A bowl of ripe jackfruit alongside a small serving of complementary protein, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a handful of seeds creates a protein profile that covers any amino acid gaps and delivers the full spectrum of muscle-supporting nutrients in a single meal. For days when you are not exercising, consuming jackfruit at breakfast in a fasting state maximizes the absorption of its bioactive compounds and supports the ongoing anti-inflammatory and senolytic processes that create the long-term muscle health environment you are working to build. If fresh jackfruit is not available in your area, canned young green jackfruit packed in water, not syrup, is widely available and retains a good proportion of the bioactive compounds. Dried jackfruit is another convenient option. Jackfruit seeds, which are often discarded, are actually highly nutritious and contain even higher concentrations of protein and bioactive lectins than the flesh. They can be boiled and eaten like chickpeas or ground into a flour that can be added to smoothies and baked goods. Do not throw them away. One more thing I want to address directly, because I know some of you are thinking it. Can a fruit really be better than eggs for building muscle? Let me be precise about what I am claiming. Eggs are extraordinary foods with a complete amino acid profile, high bioavailability, and a rich nutrient matrix including fat-soluble vitamins that support muscle health in important ways. I am not telling you to stop eating eggs. What I am telling you is that for the specific challenge of building muscle in a body over 75, a body dealing with anabolic resistance, chronic inflammaging, senescent cell accumulation, and the specific nutritional deficiencies most common in that age group, jackfruit's combination of bioavailable protein, anti-inflammatory flavonoids, senolytic quercetin, vitamin B6 cofactors, and potassium creates a muscle-building environment that addresses the actual biological barriers of aging in ways that eggs alone cannot. The two foods together are more powerful than either alone. But if you are choosing what to prioritize and what to add to your diet specifically for muscle health after 75, jackfruit belongs at the top of that list. Your muscles do not know how old you are. They know what signals they receive, what nutrients they are given, and what demands you place on them. Give them the right signals, the right nutrients, and the consistent demand of regular resistance exercise, and they will respond. At 75, at 80, at 85, the biology supports it, the research supports it, and now you have the knowledge to support it too. My name is Dr. James, and if this video opened your eyes today, please hit that thumbs up right now and share it with every senior you know who is serious about staying strong and independent. Leave me a comment below. Have you ever tried jackfruit before? I genuinely want to know. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe right now and ring that notification bell, because every single week I bring you the honest, research-backed senior health and fitness content that can genuinely transform the way you age. Subscribe right now. Your strongest years may still be ahead of you. I will see you in the next video.